Hi folks, this is Jake. Hope everybody's okay. It's been a nice day today, and hope everybody's okay. I just wanted to ask a question. The question is this: why do I always win? Why do I always win, skeptics? I just don't understand why I always win. Well, I think I do. I think maybe it's because I come with evidence, and you don't. Um, with we have consistently on this channel and consistently throughout my YouTube career have given you solid evidence for the Christian faith, and you have consistently not dealt with it. And the proof of that is the videos on history. I made a couple of videos on history, and by the way, I have this book. I'm a quarter way through it. It's The Resurrection of Jesus by Michael R. Licona, IVP. It's the definitive book on the resurrection of Christ, and he approaches the history of Christ as a historian, and it's a superb book. And in fact, I don't think, maybe someone recently, but it's been a long time since the book's been out. It's not been a long time since the book's been out in that sense. It's only been out a year and a half, 2 years at the max. But it's been a long time since the book came out that anybody of any serious weight has actually dealt with the book. In other words, it's a pretty substantial academic piece of work that nobody is really dealing with, and that's what I found in my YouTube career is I've not met any atheist yet, or any skeptic yet, that actually comes with any real solid evidence. And I always win. On the resurrection of Christ, I won the atheist on that one. I called them out on it time and time again. I called some of the well-known people. I won't name names because I don't want to get personal anymore. But I called some of their well-known names out, and they completely lost. They couldn't cope with it, and they couldn't deal with the resurrection of Christ. No atheist stood up to the mark. No skeptic stood up to the mark. They had absolutely nothing to give. I won on the issue of freedom of the will. I brought stuff out. The only person who was really up to anything was No Plum 99. I shouldn't have mentioned his name there, but he did make a video about it, but he didn't actually make a response. So I won on the freedom of the will, and every time I tackle a major subject, what I find is the skeptical community unable to deal and grapple with the issues. And I made a couple of videos the other day on history, and to be honest, the comments that have been put under there are pretty naive. They show a lack of sophistication. There doesn't seem to be anybody who really understands the issues at hand. Nobody has given any citations. Nobody's given any clear evidence that they actually understand the subject or the questions that I'm asking. So far, it's been a complete intellectual bloodbath to the skeptics, because the skeptics are running around under those couple of videos really not having a clue what they're talking about. One person has made an attempt and has said, well, Jason hasn't made a comment yet and he's gone on to evolution. I've just made a comment now to them. But even making a comment to them, they don't really understand the issues. So why do I keep winning? I win because I do solid research, I read the best books, I know what I'm talking about, and those who are opposing me don't read the best books, they don't give the best arguments, and they don't know what they're talking about. It's as simple as that. On the issue of evolution, I made a video today, and the argument that I give is absolutely, totally rock solid. We're talking about the genome. Okay, we're talking about the genome, and it's based on solid evidence. Okay, the genome is not producing new information, it's in decay. The fact of the matter is, the evidence for that is, you die. Okay, you die. That's the fact. That's proof of what I'm saying is correct, that the genome is in decay. You are in decay, which is a complete direct contradiction to evolution. Okay, now that is using a person, a scientist, who was an evolutionist, a rank evolutionist, but because he was studying genetics, and because he was a geneticist, he intellectually, honestly could not hold to evolution anymore because of that finding. And it's really applying the second law of thermodynamics to genetics. Basically, that's what it's doing, and it's absolutely solid. It's rock solid, and you can't dismantle it. You can't destroy it. And the fact of the matter is, not one atheist or not one skeptic is able to step up to the mark and give us any evidence to contravene it. And not only that, you will find that not one skeptic, and I repeat, not one skeptic, whoever they be, whether they be agnostic or atheist or whoever, but not one skeptic will able to come up and debate me in an academic way and win me on creation of evolution, or would win me on the debate whether Jesus Christ rose from the dead. And I'm still waiting for those academic debates. And to be honest, it's a travesty. It's an absolute travesty to the skeptical community, whoever they may be, whether it be agnostics or atheists or whoever they may be. It's an absolute travesty that someone who is trained in theology has called you out time and time again for academic debates, and you fail to stand up to the mark. I'm reading the best quality academic material right at this present time, cutting edge research material in the resurrection, historiography, in historiography concerning the resurrection. And I'm also reading cutting edge material on genetics. Okay? But you, as skeptics, will not call me out. I have called you out. And I'm calling you out that your foundations are not intellectually defensible. You have been routed, you have been destroyed, you have lost time and time again. And the fact that I can prove this by this, I have consistently for 1 year asked every week to the skeptical community for academic debates, and every week they have denied those opportunities. They have failed to step up to the mark. They tried it once and they got their fingers burnt, and they've never wanted to go back to it again. Okay? And I have proved my point that you are not being academic because some of your people have left YouTube, and that is not an academic thing to do. The best thing to do is to stand up for your beliefs and debate them in an intellectual, academic way, not run away from flack. So, the moral of the story is, I always win. I always win the skeptical community because of this simple reason. I know what I'm talking about. I turn up with the facts, and I find when you do that, the skeptics run a mile. The proof is, from now till next year, the skeptical community will avoid having an academic debate with me. So be it. But at least I know that I win, and that we are telling the truth, and you are telling the lies. Okay? You are telling the lies. So, the only way you can prove me wrong is by getting some champion of your side to square up to me and come and take me on. If you can't do that, then I'm sorry, I win again. Alright? And I'm proving you wrong day by day by day, because I call you out. In fact, I call 200 skeptics out today. Bring your best 200 skeptics on YouTube. I don't care if they're atheist or agnostic. Bring 200 of the best skeptics you can find on YouTube. Not the most famous, but the best, who you think are the best. You bring them to me, and I will debate them 10 at a time for the next year, and I guarantee on the resurrection of Christ and on evolution, I will win every time. Why? Because we have the evidence for these things, and you don't. So bring the 200 skeptics to me. Show us how much evidence you've got. Show us the great evidence that you have against the resurrection of Christ or for your evolution. And bring your 200 skeptics right now, and I will debate them 10 at a time. And I guarantee not one of those groups will win against me. That's my challenge. Why do I always win? Because you don't bring any opposition. Only arguments from authority, arguments that are had on me, attacks, personal attacks, and sounding arguments but have no substance. That's why I'm standing today, and your people keep disappearing. We had one guy attack me, he's gone. We had another couple of people who kept making videos and saying things about me, not all the time, but every blue moon. They've gone. The one thing that I've got that they haven't got is sticking power. I'm still here, plugging away, telling you about Jesus. So that's my challenge. Bring your 200 skeptics, and I'll take each group on 10 at a time for the next year, and every time I will win. Alright? Take care.